And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the start of, or the beginning, actually the pregame festivities for today's USA South Conference matchup between the Spirits of Salem College and your Averett University Cougars. I'm Davin Wilson. I'm joined here by Averett men's basketball player Montre Cash. And Montre, we've got a good game on our hands, but we're going to talk about that after the playing of the national anthem here on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the national anthem, so that can only mean one thing, that we are inching ever so closer towards the start of today's game. And we're going to take a look here and give you a quick rundown of the starting five for each side. First, we're going to start off with the Spirits. They will be led by number 1 guard Michaela Sievers. She will be backed up by number 2 Hannah McBride. Number 5, Taylor Mabe, the guard, coming in the third spot. Then number 23, Aaliyah Webb. And then number 32, Sabrina Shepard, will round out the starting five for the Spirits. Meanwhile, for your Cougars, we've got number 3, Amani AJ. Then we've got number 10, Sam Chandler. Number 11, Raven Johnson. Number 12, Alexis Rosia. And number 23, Samantha Texan. And we're going to take a look here, Montre, and right now, Averett comes in to this game. They were victorious over the Spirits last year, 86-83 in a warm-up contest. Of course, Salem coming over, joining the USA South. Last season, they had to sit out last season, were not eligible or were any games played against USA South opponents did not count. And then the Cougars actually entered today's game coming off a 79-69 win against Randolph College on December 20th. And then Salem, they kicked off 2018 with a 97-80 loss to Southern Virginia University on New Year's Eve. And Montre, coming out here into this game today, we were talking about some things before the game. You being a basketball player, what are some of the keys to this game for both sides?
Well, both teams come into the conference 1-1 today, and it will be a very big game for both teams. This is Averett's actually first home game in conference play, so it's very important for them to protect home court here today. And Salem, as I'm looking, has a very good player. And Sabrina Shepard is averaging 23 in conference play and 21.4 total throughout the games in 10 games this season. So I would look to Averett to stop her early and not let her to get going. And for Averett to get the ball to Sam Chandler, she's having a great year this year. And as she's averaging 18.3 points a game, and get the ball down low to Amai Jai, who's averaging 11.7 points this year.
And those are definitely two big players that Salem will have to keep an eye on. And at this point in the season, if you come in only about 9 or 10 games in, and if you come in here averaging double-doubles in either points, assists, or rebounds, then you are doing quite a bit. Averett looks like they've got a little bit of a new look with the jerseys this year. First time I have seen the jerseys. And so here's the tip, and it's going to be Chandler winning it. Averett with the early possession. Alexis Rosia now with the ball. She's going to kick it back out to Chandler. Chandler gets it over to number 23, Teskin. And there's a long ball. No good. Rebound corralled by number 1, Sievers. Sievers with the overtop pass to McBride. McBride kicks it back to Shepard. Shepard going up, and she's going to get whistled for the travel. Shepard trying to pack a few too many suitcases right there, and she will get whistled for the travel. So Alexis Rosia coming in here. Rosia entering her third season at Averett, and she has been a big and Aja, and that shot is no good. It is rebounded by number 32, Shepard. Shepard, the 4, trying to set something up. She's going to kick it out to McBride. McBride back to Severs. Severs a little bounce pass back into Shepard. Shepard driving into lane, kisses it off the glass, rolls around a little bit on the rim, and falls in. And Shepard is going to get the Spirits off to a early 2-0 lead. So Alexis Rosia now. Salem coming out in a zone. And Aji over there on the wing. She's going to drive in, kisses it off the square. No good. Cougars there for the board. Teskin coming down with 2 big boards. Shot, and I believe she is going to get fouled. And so that's going to send Raven Johnson to the line for a pair of freebies. Trying to knot this score up early on. 8:45 left in the first frame. There's the first free throw attempt, and nothing but the twine as that's going to fall in. Will give the Cougars their first points of the game. 2-1 is now your score as Johnson back to the blue line for her second shot. And that shot's going to clank off the front rim. Chandler there with the rebound. Kicks it back out to Teskin at the top of the key. Teskin, her shot no good. Ball goes out, and Salem will get the ball. So Taryn Johnson, number 22, the 5'7" forward, senior forward out of Elk Grove, California, making the long trip over to North Carolina to play with Salem. So Shepard now with the ball. Shepard thought about the jumper for a second, the turnaround jumper. She holds off. That ball is going to get out to Severs. Severs trying to make something happen. Underhand pass to Shepard. Shepard trying to drive. And nice bounce pass in there to Davenport. And Davenport's going to roll it around a little bit. And there was a little bit of drama on whether that was going to go in or not, but in the end it does. And Salem's out to a quick 4-1 lead. Pass deflected off the foot of Severs. And Monterey, as you know it, basketball is not a sport where you can use your feet.
No, it's not. Both teams looking to attack the paint early and get it inside.
And that ball is kicked out to Johnson. No good on the shot. McBride is there with the board. Chest pass over to Shepard. And Shepard trying to get a little bounce pass in there to Johnson. They will not be able to hook up. And the ball will roll out of bounds for Averett possession. For an Averett possession. So Monterey, as you said, Averett definitely a team that is, their success is predicated on driving the ball inside. They do have a few efficient three-point shooters in Rosia and Chandler, and that's going to be number 24, Carthen, putting up her shot. Aja battling for the rebound, unable to get it, though.
That's a very good look for Brooke Carthen, who's averaging 14 points this year, another leading scorer on the Averett Cougars team this year.
And Brooke was definitely one of those players last year that came off the bench and provided Averett with some quality minutes. That's Davenport with the jumper. No good. And we're going to have a jump ball, and that's going to go with Salem. Fans still trickling in here to the Grant Center. With the students on break, we don't have the student section. And Shepard, no good. It's going to be Carthen with the rebound, but Monterey, we were talking about Brooke just a second ago. She definitely got some quality minutes off the bench last year. She will draw the foul there. Her attempt is no good. So that's Johnson being called on the block. Good job there by Carthen to draw the block. Coming in at 5'9", she definitely has the size to draw a few fouls. And that is in. So Averett right now 2 of 3 from the free throw line. So we're going to have number 55, Dominique Cross, coming in, the 6-foot sophomore forward out of Raleigh, North Carolina. So Carthen on the back end and unable to convert. Severs will grab the board. And that is a nice play there by Johnson to strip the ball, and she's going to finish it up. And Averett's going to take its first lead of the game at 5-4. So Monterey, not exactly a coast-to-coast layup there, but about a half-coast layup.
Wow, good move there by Michaela Sievers.
And so Sievers is going to push the Spirits back in front by a pair at 6-4. Chandler, nice inside pass. Shot no good. Rebound collected by Cross. Cross out to Sievers. So Sievers with the ball right now, trying to set up the play. And that's number 55, Cross. And she's going to get the basket and draw the foul. Looked like from up here she had pulled the ball in a little bit too close to her hip. Looked like it might have been a possible travel, but nothing whistled on it except for the foul. And that's going to send Cross to the line for one attempt. And here,
as you can see, the Salem Spirits just going inside every time here, but not settle for a jumper yet.
and so that's going to be number 20, Kiara Smith, the Danville, Virginia, George Washington High School native. And Carthen with a shot, no good. Johnson battling for the rebound. Johnson's shot, no good. Carthen with the board, count it. And so Carthen will nail her layup, and she also draws the foul going up. And so Salem already with 3 team fouls early on in this contest. Carthen will go to the line. And with Carthen's shot right there, 4 of Averett's 7 points have now come from the free throw line. So effective shooting from the charity stripe for the Cougars. And there's the first 3 attempted by Salem of the game, and Sabrina Shepard is going to put the Spirits at 100% from beyond the arc. So Carthen over to Smith. Smith thought about the jumper. She changes her mind. So Rosia now, and Rosia says, I can shoot a three-pointer as well. And she gets that one from the top of the key. Nice little distance on that shot, but she's able to get it to fall. Sievers driving up, the block by Rosia. Johnson coming down with the garbage over to Carthen. Carthen switches hands, left-handed layup there. And Averett back in front, 12-11, Monterey. It's not something you see a lot, is it? Left-handed layups.
It's not. It's a very good move by Brooks there.
Very good job to not only switch the ball to her other hand there, but also to do it with momentum. So 20, Tyler Davenport. Her shot will not fall. And Winston-Salem is going to be whistled for the foul. So 5:06 remaining here in the first quarter. 12-11 is your score. Averett looking to even up its record at 5-5, actually go above 500 as well in the USA South at 2-1. So Rosia over to Smith. Smith will get it over to Amani. And there's a long ball from Rosia. And Rosia said, I could feel that one tickle off my fingers as she gets it to fall. 15-11 now, Averett. And the Cougars out to their biggest lead of the game at 4. So that's Davenport driving in, and Davenport so Carthen puts up that shot. She is going to get whistled for a travel. 15-13 is now your score, and Sabrina Shepard so far has been dangerous for the Spirits. If you give us a second, we will bring up some live stats. Number 13, Chanel Farr with the ball there. She's going to kick it back out to number 20, Davenport. That ball is being worked inside to Shepard. Shepard no good. Aja with the rebound. Over to Chandler. Chandler trying to draw. She will draw the zone defense inside the lane, then kick it back out to Rosia. So Rosia bounce pass over to Carthen. Carthen driving in. Carthen, her shot off the bottom of the basket, will try again, and she will get hit for another travel. And so another unforced turnover there for the Cougars. Number 12, Tamara Blanton coming into the game for the Spirits. 15-13, your score. As we are coming to the end of the first quarter. 3:40 remaining, so that is a handoff over to Farr. So that's going to get it back over to Davenport. Davenport had some trouble with it, but she is unmarked. And so we're going to have a foul. I believe it's going to be Carthen, whistled for the block. That is her first personal, team second. So there's the inbound into Davenport, to Shepard. Shepard gets it over to Davenport. Davenport puts up the tray. And that one, not a prayer in the world of falling. I think she would have needed John Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer to get that one to fall in. Alexis Garcia, of course, if you are a listener to Averett Sports Network, you know we like dropping in some popular culture references here. So Smith over to Chandler. Chandler back over to Carthen. Carthen, she's going to post up. No good off the back of the iron. Johnson, though, with the rebound. Back to Carthen. Carthen over to Smith. Smith driving into the lane. She's going to put up her layup. No good. Johnson, though, being a big rebounding presence, or see it, no good. Right to Smith. And Smith is there for the putback. 17-13, Averett. 2:49 remaining in the first quarter. Tamara Blanton, she's going to pass that one into Shepard. Shepard with the J, no good. Chandler with the rebound. Chandler, a quick pass to Rosia. A little bit of a breakdown in communication there. And that ball will go out. Salem now on the inbound. It is going to be number 12, Blanton. So Blanton trying to drive in, doing it all on her own, but she's going to have a hard time getting past Rosia. And I believe in the end, Rosia is going to be whistled for the foul. Yes, she is. Little extracurricular activity going on, and Blanton will take two here. 17-13 is your score. Rosia's first personal foul. There's a shot. It's up and in. So 17-14 is now your score. So we're going to have number 14, Zenise Chambers, coming in for the Cougars. Chambers, the 5'1" sophomore guard out of Ashburn, Virginia. And Blanton on the back end of her attempts is good. So she nails both of them. 17-15 is now your score. 2.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. So Carthen is going to come into the game now for Smith. And I think they're going to ask for a reset of the clock as well. We will see. And no, actually, they're going to go ahead and cancel that substitution. So Carthen will have to wait for her next opportunity to come into the game. So Rosia on the inbound from Chandler. Rosia over to Smith. Smith well guarded. Smith, a nice pass in traffic to Chandler. Chandler with the J, and Chandler is going to nail it. 19-15, Averett. 2:11 remaining in the first quarter. I'd like to wish everybody a belated New Year here from the Averett Sports Network. Spirits fans and Cougars fans alike. Hope the year brings you nothing but happiness and the best of things. And it's definitely bringing us some good basketball here. Shepard will kick it out over to Farr, who was on the left wing. Farr ends up airmailing that. Smith, and she's got the long tray, and Smith makes it rain. 22-15. So Smith, as I said earlier, made it rain the three right there. No drizzling twos for Smith. And that's going to be number 12, Blanton. And they're going to say that Rosia reached in and deflected that ball out of bounds. And Salem will keep possession. It's going to be Hannah McBride, the senior guard out of Sandy Ridge, North Carolina, right outside of Winston-Salem. Went to North Stokes High School. So Sievers gets it back out to McBride. McBride trying to drive in. Nice pass there. Intended for Farr, but good defense by the Cougars to get there for the deflection. The ball will go out of bounds. And it's going to stay with the Spirits. So right now, Averett coming out in man-to-man. Severs with the bucket. 22-17 is now your score. 1:04 left. Good job there by Salem to get around the tough Averett man-to-man defense. So Carthen, she's going to post up her shot. No good. Ball is loose right now, but in the end, it's going to be Salem. And Severs whistle for the foul. Her first personal, team fifth. 50.8 seconds left here in the first quarter. First free throw attempt clinks off the front rim. So here's the second from Amani. And here we go. And second one will not fall. Carthen kind of took a weird bounce off the rim and off the backboard there. Rolls off the tip of her fingers. Hope Carthen's okay. Definitely remember those days of getting, and the press is on right now by Averett. They're going to have to work on getting back in transition right now as the ever-dangerous Shepard is almost down there by herself. Shepard out on the left side. Ball clinks off. Chandler with the rebound. Chandler gets it over to Chambers. Chambers trying to set something up. Chambers over to Chandler. Chandler's going to launch the three, and Chandler is going to launch and nail the three. Hickey saying, stay down there. We're sticking with the press. And there's the pass over to a wide-open Webb. Webb will kiss it off the glass. 25-19, 17 seconds left. Alexis Rosia now with the ball. Rosia setting up the play like a point guard is supposed to do. I guess Rosia really more of a shooting guard than a point guard. And there's a nice steal by Webb, and she tried to get coast to coast there before the buzzer, but unable to do so. So the buzzer will sound on the first quarter. Averett grabbing a little bit of momentum back there towards the middle of the frame after Salem started off on the right track. And Averett will round out the first quarter with a 25-19 lead. Keep it locked right here. In a few minutes, we'll be back with the second 10 minutes here from the Grant Center here at Averett University on the Averett Sports Network. And Salem starting off with possession here in the second quarter. Severs is going to get that out to Davenport. And a nice hustle play there by Webb, but her pass will go right to Rosia. Rosia to Chandler. Chandler to Amani. And we're going to have a foul whistled on the Spirits. Of course, fouls do reset in the second quarter, so that's the first team foul for Salem. So that's going to be number 14, Chambers driving in. Chandler with the rebound off the front. Chandler grabs her own board, and she's going to kiss it back in. 27-19. Chandler getting ready for Valentine's Day with that follow-up. And Severs, she will get it out to number 13, Farr. Farr trying to get something going, blocked, and there's going to be a travel on the play as Aaliyah Webb, the junior guard out of Lynchburg, Virginia. Another local Virginia kid. So Rosia over to Carthen. Carthen over to Chandler. Chandler back over to Rosia. Rosia, a long ball. No good. It will hit the top of the shot clock, so that will warrant a stoppage in play. So Averett right now looking to extend its lead to double digits and get a little bit of extra confidence. Averett and head coach Liz Hickey have got to be feeling good, and that is going to be Shepard. Her shot no good. Carthen with the rebound. Carthen, a he pass down to Haji, and nothing going there.
And right now the Cougars are living on the offensive glass. They have 11 offensive rebounds in just basically 1 minute of play here. 1 quarter of play here, and here at the Grant Center today.
And so Severs right now with the inbound. And Montre, that is when you've got two teams whose games, and that is number one, Severs with the long ball, Chandler with the hustle play, and she's going to be whistled for the foul. But when you've got two teams, or excuse me, Salem getting charged, but when you have two teams whose games are predicated on working the ball inside for high percentage shots, those rebounds definitely come into play, and especially on the offensive end. So Raven Johnson back into the court for Averett.
Just a quick update on the stats here. We have for Salem, Sabrina Shepard she's leading them with 7 points, and for Averett, Sam Chandler is leading us with 7 points as well.
And no surprise there with Chandler, and a nice steal by McBride. McBride uncontested right now. She kisses her layup off that little white square, and it's now 27-21, 8:13 remaining. So that ball is over to Chambers. And Chambers thought about the long ball, changes her mind. Ajay driving in, no good. Ball rebound collected by Cross. And that's going to be number one, Severs. Severs gets it over to Shepard. Shepard with the long ball, no good. That's going to be Johnson there with the rebound. Johnson, the 5'10" forward guard out of Maryland. Denise Chambers over to Rosia. Rosia, no good. And Averett unable to corral the loose ball. It rolls out of bounds, and possession will go to the Spirits as they now trail by 6 after trailing by as many as 8 earlier on here in the second quarter. So number 32, Shepard. That ball is given back to McBride. McBride, a bounce pass into Cross. Cross in the lane. Turnaround. No good. She will draw the foul. Not a bad foul, though, there by Averett. That's one of those, you never want to give up any free opportunities, but in a situation like that, when your defense is playing well and you've got one of the other team's hot shooters with the ball, trying to get in there and get as physical as possible. So Cross with her first attempt and kept us in suspense there. Kind of rolled off the front, bounced off the back before falling in, but it will fall in. 27-22, 7:16 left in the first half. So Dominique Cross at the line for her second of 2. And no good. Chandler there with the rebound. Chandler over to Rosia. Rosia, a quick restart, gets the ball down to Texan. Chandler's going to drive, and no good. That's going to be number 32, Shepard, with the board. Shepard trying to do it all right now. She gets it down to the other end. Nice pick there by Cross. Ball goes back to Cross. Cross hits her jumper. And 27-24. So Salem right now on a 5-0 run to get within 3. Chandler's going to get that one over to. And there's another steal by McBride. McBride facing 2 Cougars. There's a handoff to Severs. Severs no good. Shepard there with the board. So Shepard over to number 12, Blanton. Blanton right now with the ball. She's going to dish it off to McBride. McBride thought about a shot there. Little bounce pass over to Cross, and Cross is going to kiss it off. There's 4 straight points for Cross. 4 straight or actually 7 straight now for Salem as it trails by 1, 27-26, 6:08 remaining in the half. Rosia, and that ball is going to get over to number 13, Texan, but no good. Ball goes out of bounds. Carthen coming back into the game for the Cougars. Meanwhile, it looks like we're going to have number 22, Taryn Johnson, checking into the game. And so Salem, an unforced error on the inbound, and that's going to give it to the Cougars. 5:59 remaining here in the first half. 1 point game. Averett had a 8-point advantage at the start of the second quarter. Salem currently on a 7-0 run right now. So Rosia thought about kicking out the three. She will drive in. No good. Well covered. Sievers with the rebound. Sievers in a 1-on-2. So Sievers with the 1-on-2 disadvantage, still able to draw the foul. And that is Texan getting whistled for the foul. So that's Michaela Sievers coming to the line now. The 5'5" senior guard out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, went to Mount Airy High School. Covered a little bit of sports down there, a little bit of high school football. First shot off the front end of the rim, no good. A lot of good teams down there in that Greensboro, Winston-Salem area. Second shot is through the net. 27-27, all knotted up. As this game is turning into a little bit of drama. So Sam Chandler, and Chandler driving, and she's going to get hit with the travel. As she was trying to go into the lane, pulled the ball to her hip, and took the step with it, and that will warrant the travel. So Sievers with the ball now. Sievers trying to do it all herself. She'll drive, blocked by Chandler. Ball kicked out to Johnson. Johnson kicks it in, and a 10-0 run for the Spirits puts them in front by a score of 29-27. 5:11 left in the first half. Chandler is going to get that one over to Texan. Texan will get it over to Shannon Longworth. Longworth's miss collected by Shepard. Long Hail Mary pass down the court intended for McBride. No good, as it will just deflect harmlessly off of McBride's fingers. 4:58 remaining in the first 20 minutes. 29-27 is your score. So far, altogether, we're looking at about 30 minutes worth of game time so far. So Smith into the game. She will get that one over to Rosia. Rosia back to Smith. Smith, the standout at GW. And nice pass, no look over to Carthen. And Carthen will hook it up and finish up the play. An impressive across-the-body no-look pass there by Smith. So McBride with the ball now, driving into the lane. She will kiss it off the glass. 31-29 Salem, 4.5 left to go in the second stanza. So Rosia, one-handed pass inside to Carthen. Carthen's going to put it up, and she will get the basket and one. As she will go to the line looking to finish off the three-point play. Averett back in front, 32-31. So Montre, now that we've got a little bit of break in the action so far, what are some of your thoughts on this game?
Well, as Brooke just made that last layup, she has entered double digits in the game. That gives her a layup, 11 points with that free throw right there. She's having a great game. And hopefully right here, Averett can get some momentum. They had a cold start to that second quarter, but they're looking like they're back on track when Brooke got in the game. And they're going back to Sabrina Shepard, who's having a great game as well. That's right there with 9 points. And right now we have a back-and-forth battle between the Cougars and the Spirits right now.
And you're right. And if last year's game was indicative of what we're going to see here, it was a close game in the first little bit before Averett was able to start pulling away in the second for the 17-point victory. So Rosia over to Smith. Smith gets it in inside, and there's a travel on the play. So number 13 far back into the game. So Aja whistled for the foul, or excuse me, whistled for the travel. So number 1, Sievers. That ball is over to Blanton. Blanton back over to Sievers. Sievers trying to drive in. Well guarded by Rosia. Sievers driving up, kind of a heave of a layup there. Chandler with the rebound. As I mentioned, though, well covered. Rosia down to Carthen. Carthen is going to drive in. No good. And that is going to be Severs with the board. And Carthen will be whistled for the foul. That is going to be Averett's third team foul of the quarter. Carthen's second personal. So Chambers into the game now for Carthen. Is Carthen with 2 fouls here in the first half. Hickey, I think really right now just wanting to have a conversation with Carthen more than anything. Seeing some things that she's not crazy about. Just wanted to help her guard along. So Rosia, Hickey in her 7th season here at Averett. Averett finishing this season last year with one of its best records in recent memory. Definitely the best record under Hickey. Cougars, of course, did make it to the USA South Conference Tournament, which they have made it at least 4 years in a row. So Severs, they have made it as long as I've been here at Averett. So Rosia now with the ball. Rosia over to Chandler. Chandler almost almost unmarked there. And she's going to kiss that in, and you cannot leave Chandler open if you are Salem. So number 12, Blanton right now with the ball. She's going to get that into Severs. Severs gets over to Blanton. Blanton with a jumper. Rolls around, no good. Smith with the rebound. 2:29 remaining. Averett 34, Salem 33. Rosia over to Smith. Smith a nice pump fake over to Ajay, and she's going to kiss it in off the glass. 36-33 now. Ajay, another one of those big players for the Cougars as she comes up with a steal. Rosia, and Rosia puts the jam on right there as she goes behind the back. Chandler is fouled shooting the tray, so she will go to the line for a trio of shots. But what a pass there. What knowledge of the court and really what peripheral vision there to get that pass over to Chandler. So Chandler's first shot clinks off the back end of the iron. 2:01, 36-33 Averett. Tight game so far. Averett started off the second quarter a little slow. So Chandler, her second shot.
That shot right there puts her in the double digits for the game, as she now has 10 points.
And every single one of those points, Montre, well earned. Make it 11 now, as she constantly has hands in her face. So Averett going back, using a little bit of a half-court press there. So Cross gets it over. It's Taylor Mabe with the ball now, and there's a long shot from McBride. No good, but Cross is back there to dot the T's and cross the I's. 38-35 now. Minute 39 seconds remaining. So Rosia over to Chandler. Chandler trying to drive in. Chandler double team, will draw the foul. So Chandler, just an outstanding career here at Averett, especially considering she had to sit out a season, had an injury. Her first shot falls in. Right now, Chandler is second on Averett's all-time scoring list. And now this is minus what she has put up so far in today's game, but 1,377 points. And she now has 13, so you can move that up to 1,386 points now. And that's going to put her close.
She gets the steal here and scores again. Sam Chandler all over the place here for the Cougars as they went back to the press.
And Montre, this is the press, not something I'm normally used to seeing Averett run. But they are running it well here today, and it has caused some unforced turnovers, or actually some forced turnovers by Salem. And right now, Averett with all 5 in the front court, in the back court. There's the steal, Longworth to Smith. Smith driving in.
This press is seeming to work for them, and they're just getting another turnover back to Sam Chandler, who missed the layup. Kiera Smith, good pass to Alexis Rosia. And This press just opened up the game.
8 unanswered points, all on the press defense.
And they get another steal in the press. Back to Ajayi, who shoots the layup short.
And right now, this Averett team rotating well between its full and half-court press, and that is going to be number 13, Farr with the shot. No good. Cougars there with the rebound. Smith gets it down to Rosia. Rosia back to Smith. Let's see if Cougars, and that is Ajayi with the shot. No good. Rosia getting whistled for the foul. Her second personal, team fourth. So with Averett already in the bonus, Salem just needs one to draw one more foul to get in the bonus, with Averett being here so close to halftime.
And just like that, Sam Chandler is up to 17 points as she goes to the bench for the final 20 seconds of the half.
And really right now, and there's a shot by Mabe, no good. Really right now, the question is not if Chandler will break the record, it's when she will do it. And so we're going to have a timeout. Mahoney wants it from the Spirits. And we're going to have a 30-second timeout. We're going to take it here with them. We'll be right back on the Averett Sports Network. Averett in front, 46-35, 2.9 seconds remaining here in the first half. So we are back, and right now I think one of the big things for the Cougars, as they have built a 11-point lead going into the break, has been their defense. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the break here. First 20 minutes through. Averett's defense right now in control, 46-35 as we go into the break. We're going to take a quick break, but we will be right back in a few minutes with the Kickback Jacks halftime show here on the Averett Sports Network. Keep it locked.
And we're back here on the Averett University Sports Network channel. And going over these halftime stats, at the break we had Sabrina Shepard with 9 points, Michaela Sievers with 5 points, Hannah McBride with 4 points, and Dominique Cross with 9 points, leading the way for the Salem Spirits. And for your Averett Cougars, we have Amani Ajayi with 2 points, Sam Chandler leading the way with 17 points with a scorching first half. Raven Johnson with 3 points, Alexis Rosia with 6 points off 2 3-pointers, Brooke Carthen with 11 points, and off the bench, a big spot for the Cougars today was Kiera Smith with 7 points. And we have 25 seconds here till the second half begins as the Cougars get the ball to start here. And they're looking to take advantage of this 11-point lead. The Cougars ended that half on a 10-0 run that helped them big time as they're up 46-35 here to start the second half.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are just about ready to kick things off here. Start of the second half. Right now, we're going to take a look here at some of the leaders. Sam Chandler, 17 points, 8 rebounds. She's 2 shy of the double-double. And then, of course, you got Brooke Carthen coming in for Averett, 11 points, 5 rebounds. Meanwhile, for the Spirits, Sabrina Shepard's 9 and Dominique Cross's 9 lead the way for the Spirits. So 46-35 is your score. Averett ended the half very strong defensively, rotating between the vaunted press and half-court press defense. Forced a string of 4 consecutive turnovers that led to 8 consecutive Averett points. And that is basically how we got to this 46-35 scoreline. As we are about ready to start things off here in the second period. Trying to get a reset of the clock before we start. And here we go. So Rosia is going to get things kicked off. Rosia to Chandler. Chandler gets it over to Longworth. Longworth, nice inside pass there. There's a shot from Ajayi. And 48-35 is your score. So Ajayi now with that bucket, she now has 4 on the game. Thought she had a few more than that. Number 2, McBride driving in. McBride will draw the foul. Texan whistled for the foul, and that will send McBride to the line. McBride out of Sandy Ridge, North Carolina. North Stokes High School. Her first shot, no good, off the front iron. And we're going to look here in the first half. Salem 57.1% from the free throw line. McBride's second shot in. 48-37 is now your score, but Averett coming in at 61.5%. So both teams shooting very well from the stripe, and I think one of the big differences in this game, Averett 36.4 shooting from beyond the arc, while meanwhile Salem coming in at just 12.5%. But really at the end of the day, look here, 21-16, Averett outscored Salem in the second quarter with at least 10 of those points coming over after Averett had started to implement its press. And that ball will go off, and they're going to say it's going to go off of a Cougar player. And that will give Salem the ball. Salem needing a shot in the arm right now as it trails by double digits at 48-36. Still a lot of time to be played, though. McBride over to Davenport. Davenport gets it over to Shepard. Shepard over to Sievers. So Sievers trying to drive in. She's going to kick it back out to Shepard. Shepard puts up her 3, and it bounces around and down and in. 48-39 is your score. So Shepard now with 12 points on the game. So that's going to be number 11, Johnson. Johnson's shot no good. McBride there to collect the rebound. She gets it over to Sievers. Sievers driving, and she's going to kiss her layup in off the glass. 48-41, so Salem 4 quick points here to start off the half. 5 points to start off the half here. Consecutive points. And that's going to end right there as Texan nails a big three. Fredericksburg, Virginia native. Stafford High School, another high school around Virginia known for its sports. Davenport will go up, but she is whistled for a travel.
It's a big shot by Sam Texan there. That's her first one at the game. She's actually had pretty good games these past couple games. I know she loves to see that one go down in the hoop.
Wow, that was a good shot right there. Good form, good look on the basket. So Racia chest pass back into Teskin. Teskin over to Aji, or excuse me. So it's going to be Severs with the board. Severs will get it over to number 2, McBride, but Teskin is there to take away the deflection. So Racia now with the ball. Racia chest pass over to Sam Chandler. Chandler launches a three, no good. Battling for her own rebound. Aji getting there. That rebound is collected by number 32, Shepard. Looks like we're going to have number 55, Cross, come back into the game. So number 2, McBride. McBride gets over to Shepard. Shepard, a little underhand toss to Davenport. Davenport driving, no good, but I believe she's going to draw the foul in the process. As Chandler will get whistled for her second personal, team second. So Davenport at the line, the freshman guard out of Kernersville, North Carolina. Her first shot is through the net, tickles the twine, 50-42. So Dominique Cross into the game, Smith into the game for Averett. Meanwhile, Cross into the game for the Spirits as Davenport will attempt the second of her free throws. No good. Chandler physical under the boards there between Cross and Chandler. Dominique Cross, the 6' forward, going against the 5'10 Chandler.
Cross has made her presence made inside today. She's living all over the offensive glass for the Salem Spirits. She's playing really good today.
She has, and coming in with 4 of her team's 25 rebounds, and there's the bucket. And so that's Carthen, and that's Cross on the rebound. So number 2, McBride. McBride, a nice fancy spin move. Excuse me, that is Severs with a spin move. She will finish 50-46. So right now, 11-4 run for Salem to open things up. Cut his deficit down to 4. There's the long ball, no good. It's going to be number 12, Blanton, with the board. Racia, though, with the strip. Racia slowing it down a little bit. She's driving to the basket. Not sure if she was trying to shoot there or dish it off to one of her teammates. But Shepard whistled for the foul. That is her third personal. So Racia going to the line. As we mentioned earlier, Averett shooting 61.5% from the line in the first half. That will add to that number as Racia hits the front end of her 2 attempts. And let's see if she can convert both of them to give the Cougars a 2-possession advantage. So Racia 2 for 2 from the line on that possession. So Averett able to get it back up to a 6-point lead now. 6:22 remaining in the third quarter. Number 12, Blant now with the ball. She will try to set something up. Well guarded by Smith, so that ball is going to get over to Shepard. Shepard with the long ball, and Shepard drains it like liquid plumbing right there. 52-49, 6:03 remaining. So Smith is going to get that one over to Chambers. Chambers over to Ajay. Ajay shot no good. Rebound collected by Severs. Severs trying to make Averett pay on the other end. 1-on-2 situation, and Smith comes up with a big block. She will get whistled for the foul in the process. 52-49, 5 minutes, 47 seconds. So that is Smith's first foul of the game. Michaela Severs will go to the line. The 5'5 senior, her first shot goes through, and it is now a 1-possession ball game. So Salem came into this half down by double digits, trailing by 11. They have opened up with a 17-6 run. And it is now a 2-point game, and make it a 1-point game as Severs nails both of her attempts. 52-51. Averett, 5:44 remaining in the third period. I was about ready to say the first half. So Smith gets it over to Carthen. Carthen took a step forward, changes her mind. Now she is going to take the jumper, and it will not fall for her. Number 12, Blanton there with the board. So there's a nice shovel pass from Sievers, or to Sievers, and Sievers over to Cross. Cross's shot does not find the target, and we're going to have a jump ball, and it looks like Averett is going to have possession. And head coach Liz Hickey wants a timeout with 5:15 remaining in the third quarter. Her team holding on to a 1-point lead. We're going to take a quick break here on the Averett Sports Network, but we will be right back. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Grant Center here at Averett University's North Campus, the Eastore Grant Center here in beautiful Danville, Virginia, frigid Danville, Virginia today. So Smith over to Chandler. Chandler thinks about it, is going to take the three. A little bit unlucky. Carthen there with the rebound. Cross with the block as Carthen went back up with her follow-through. But nothing falling. But in the meantime, the Cougars will also draw the foul. Sorry about the graphic there at the top of your screen for a second. So Carthen over to Smith. Smith inside the lane trying to drive. She's got her keys out. No good. Cross with the board. So we got number 2, McBride, gets it over to Sievers. Sievers, and she will get it over to Shepard, and Shepard tickles the twine. And Salem is going to take its first lead since the beginning part of the second quarter, 54-52, Carthen. So number 14, Chambers. So Chambers over to Smith. Smith over to Carthen. Carthen trying to drive in. She will. Shot no good. Chandler there. Chandler follows through, and Averett has now knotted things back up at 54 all. 4 minutes remaining, and Sievers driving. And there will be a foul whistled on the play.
I do not know what the Salem coach said at halftime, but the game plan must have been to get the ball to Sabrina Shepard, as she has 20 now in the game. That's 3 threes this half and a layup, so she has 11 this quarter.
And really, like you said, Montre coming in 11 this quarter, 11 of her teams. Actually, looking at this point, she is pretty much single-handedly put up the points for the Spirits this quarter. All of them coming except for 9. So it's going to be number 1, Sievers, at the line. See what she can do. And that shot in and in. So 55-54, 4 minutes remaining here in the third stanza. So Smith right now with the ball. Smith over to number 11, Johnson. There's a long ball from number 14, Chambers. Carthen with the board, and Carthen is going to draw the foul. And Montre, you took the words out of my mouth because I was about ready to ask you what has been the big difference for this Salem team in the third quarter, as it really looked out of place there at the end of the first half trying to deal with Averett's defensive pressure. But whatever the Spirits have done, it has worked, and mainly just getting the ball into the hands of Shepard, as she has 11 of the Spirits' 20 third quarter points so far.
Michaela Sievers also for the Spirit is actually attacking really well, and she's playing a great game as well. And those two right there have a special tandem. I'm pretty sure they've been playing together all 4 years now, and they have a very great, old chorus. She turns it over here, and Kiara Smith on the break. As she missed the layup, and Raven Johnson with the rebound. and your Cougars are back at the lead, 57-55 with 3:24 left in the third quarter.
So Sievers driving down. She's going to kiss it down on the other end, 57-57, and you're really right on that. It has definitely been the Shepherd and Sievers show here in the second half so far. Smith with the short jumper. Ajay there to put the Cougars back in front, 59-57, 2:58 remaining in the third quarter. So Sievers with an awkward-looking jumper, but the form doesn't matter as she gets nothing but net. 59 all is now your score. 2:45 remaining in the third period. So Chambers right now with the ball. She's going to kick it out to Smith. Smith gets it over to number 11, Johnson. Johnson back out to Aja, excuse me. Sievers. And a nice shovel pass over to Blanton. Blanton driving in. She's going to find, it looked like number 2, McBride. McBride's shot does not fall. Smith, nice one-handed pass over to Longwood over at the opposite end of the court. Longworth, excuse me. That's going to be number 14. Chambers going up for a rebound. Salem with the defensive board over to Sievers. Sievers back over to McBride. McBride goes in. She will get whistled for the charge, though, as Longworth did a good job of getting back, establishing herself, planting those feet, and blocking the lane. And it looks like Longworth might be paying for her decision there a little bit as she soars. So we're going to have almost a platoon change here for the Cougars. Rosia, Chandler, and Carthen all into the game. Meanwhile, number 20, Davenport, back into the game for the Spirits. No, it's actually Chanel Parr into the game for the Spirits. So Rosia trying to make something happen. Shovel pass into Carthen. Carthen driving in, and she's got it. 61-59. So Sievers, and a long pass there to Farr. Farr no good. Rosia with the board. Rosia trying to make something quickly happen on the other end. Nice move to switch directions. Over to Chandler. Chandler, beautiful pass into Carthen. Carthen pushes it up, and 4 unanswered points for Carthen. And Averett back in front, 63-59. Here in the waning moments of the third period. So Sievers driving in. Sievers' shot off the glass in the net. 63-61. So Rosia, both of these teams playing very quick ball in transition right now. Rosia over the top pass into Aja. And they're going to say that went off of Averett.
Michaela Sievers is up to 18 points. I do not know how many she had at halftime.
Sievers actually came into the half with, or came into this third period with just 5 points. So 13 on the third quarter. And Averett will definitely be looking for an answer to try to contain her here on out. So far, we'll give it off to Blanton. So Blanton right now trying to make something happen as the final minute is ticking off the clock. Blanton's shot blocked by Carthen. Rosia, a long pass to a streaking Longworth. Longworth having to stop, though. Aja, no good. Chandler with a long ball. Looked like it was tipped on the way up. Rosia over to Longworth. Longworth now is going to shoot the tray, and she gets it 66-61. And Longworth, one of those players last year for the Cougars that proved she could shoot the long ball. So far now on the other end, no good. Referee points to the shot clock. Out of bounds. Possession goes to the Cougars.
And for Salem this quarter, they have 26 total team points, and 24 of them have came from Shepherd and Sievers. So they're obviously, their game plan coming out of half was get them the ball, and that got them back in the game as they're down by only 5 at draft time. We're trailing by 11.
So Rosia over to Carthen. Time running down. Averett content to play last shot, but Chanel Farr with the steal. She found Sievers. Sievers unable to convert as the buzzer sounds on the third quarter. So we are entering the fourth and final frame here. We have got a tight one on our hands. Hope you have your cameras ready because this one might be coming down to a photo finish. 66-61 entering the final 10 We're going to take a break, but keep it locked right here on the Averett Sports Network as we will be right back. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back as we are ready to start the final 10 minutes of this contest, or at least what we hope will be the final 10 minutes, as I don't think anybody here is hoping for an overtime period. I think looking to get this thing finished in regulation. Salem will start the stanza off. It's going to be Severs with the ball, and a nice steal by Longworth. A little handoff over to Chandler. Chandler going behind her back to Rosia. Rosia's got Longworth over on the right wing. Longworth launches. Shot ricochets off the rim. Severs with the rebound. Severs trying to make something happen, and a big steal by Carthen. Rosia will collect. Rosia over to Chandler. Chandler to Carthen. Carthen slowing things down a little bit. She drives in. Her J is good. 68-61, 7-point game. 9:20 remaining. So the cross-court pass over to Davenport. Davenport driving in. Shot is blocked by Chandler, but Chandler will also get whistled for the foul in the process. 68-61 is your score. That is Chandler's third personal. So number 20, Tyler Davenport at the line now. Let's see what she can do. Davenport's first shot. Nothing but net, 68-62. And by looking at both of these teams from the free throw line, they have definitely been working on their shooting games at Dave & Buster's. So Davenport, her second shot, and that is no good.
And even though the Averett Lady Cougars have had a slow start in the past two quarters, they have still managed to score 20 points in both those quarters. So that puts them throughout this game with 3 20-point quarters, and that's very hard to beat.
Well, one thing that I've noticed with Coach Hickey, it seems like at the beginning of the quarter they play a lot more, take a little bit more conservative approach on both ends, and then when it starts getting a little bit, you start getting those tired legs, tired hands, and really more importantly, tired minds. That's when you kind of try to pick up the pace a little bit. So number 32, Shepard driving in. She will get fouled. Shannon Longworth getting whistled for the foul. And it looks like that's going to send Johnson to the line. Her first shot in. 70-63. Smith coming into the game for Carthen. So number 22, number 22, Johnson hits both of her free throw attempts. 70-64, 8:33 remaining. So Smith gets that over to Chandler. Chandler over to Longworth. Good defense there by Salem as they will force a turnover. Ball now in the hands of Farr. Farr against Smith. Farr a little trouble, and she puts up her shot. No good. She will draw the foul. So one thing that we've seen from both teams here thus far, not exactly being the most coordinated with the ball, especially when they're driving to the lane. A lot of fumbled balls. And that's the thing. You just got to slow it down when you're charging into that hoop and make sure that you don't give the other team a possession, especially when you've got a high percentage shot in front of you. So Rosia, 70-65 is now your score. 8:10 left. So Chandler over to Longworth. Longworth over to the top to Aja. And Aja will draw the foul.
And I'm pretty sure the Lady Cougars want to get the ball to Sam Chandler here. She was scoreless in that third quarter after having a breakout first half with 17 points, as she's still stuck at the 17 mark.
And so first free throw attempt, no good. And she had a monstrous first half. So far has been held at bay in the second. And there's the second free throw attempt, and it is good. 71-65 ball game as we are winding down the final 7 minutes and 55 seconds. So Farr is going to kick that one out to Davenport. Davenport driving in, right-handed layup. 71-67 is now your score. Rosia, Aja will put that one up, and she's good. Ajay with the basket, 73-67.
After only having 2 points in that first half, Amani has had a very good second half with 9 points. And she's up to 11 for the game. It looks like she's about to be up to 13 here with the layup.
And looks like we've got a injury there, as it looked like Davenport might have caught a little stinger, maybe twisted something the wrong way. She is laughing as she's coming off the court, but you can definitely tell that she is hurting a little bit. So 75-67 game. Salem, a terrific third quarter to start working its way back into this one. Averett, though, responded well, and they have pushed the lead back out to 8. As we are getting late in this game, 7-13. So Longworth on the inbound to Rosia. See what Rosia can do here. So Rosia will get it over to Chandler. Chandler driving in underneath to number 11, Johnson. Johnson over to Smith. Smith over to Longworth, and the ball is stripped by McBride. McBride driving down on the other end. No good. Rosia. And a quick restart in transition for the Cougars. Rosia is going to drive. She will put it up. No good. Ball is deflected by Cross and out of bounds. 6:46 remaining as we're going to see Blanton come back into the game for number 13, Farr. So Carthon back in. So we're seeing a little bit of a line defense here. Not much of it, but a little bit. So Smith, one-handed pass over to Carthon. Carthon over to Rosia. Rosia back to Carthon. Carthon over to Longworth. Longworth driving in, and she will take a double dribble with that one. 6.5 minutes. 8-point game. Averett looking to try to put the Spirits away. Meanwhile, the Spirits looking to try to hang around in this one. Trying to make sure they don't have a repeat of last year's game where they lost by double digits. So it's number 15, Cross, with a turnaround jumper. No good. Averett with the rebound. Smith, Rosia, and good job there by Severs to get a hand in the path of that pass. So Chambers and Chandler back into the game for Averett. So Carthon over to Rosia. Back to Carthon. Salem right now in the 2-3. Ball over to Carthon, and she is going to get fouled on that. So good job there by Averett to recognize the defensive scheme by Salem and realize that Salem was basically giving Averett that inside game, daring them to take, or wanting them to take the three. Carthon's first free throw attempt in and out, no good. 5:58, 75-67. Midway through the fourth and final frame, Carthon's second shot, good. 76-67.
And with that free throw, Brooks up to 19 points on the game to give the Cougars the 9-point lead with 5:50 to go.
And so that's going to be number 2, McBride. She's going to kick that one out to number 32, Shepard. Shepard tickles the twine with that. And 76-69 is your score. And there is a long ball by Sam Chandler. 79-69. That ball needed a passport as Chandler took that one from Spain. And it's now a 10-point game. Ball over to McBride. McBride, little bounce pass into Cross. Cross trying to drive in. Actually kicks it out to McBride, who is in the lane, who's with her shot. Cross with the rebound. And Averett showing its rebounding prowess. Number 14, Chambers. There is the rebound by number 1, Severs. Severs trying to make something happen. And there's the bounce pass in to number 12, Blanton. No good. Rosia there to collect. Averett stepping up the defensive pressure again. Ball over to Chandler. Chandler driving in. No good. Cross with the rebound. So over to Severs. Severs a nice pass to Blanton. Blanton trying to make something happen. And Blanton's going to get called for the travel. I think Blanton was trying to get the block there, but unable to do so. 4:28, and Salem's going to take a timeout. And Montre, that does not sound like a bad idea, as we're going to take it with them. We'll be right back here on the Averett Sports Network. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Grant Center. Averett right now on the offensive glass, out rebounding Salem by a tally of 21-9. And that has definitely been instrumental, as the Cougars have been able to turn a lot of those offensive boards into points of its own. And it has given the Cougars a 10-point advantage now. 4:22 remaining in this contest. And there is a steal by Salem. Trying to get you the number on that. I believe it was number 23. Yes, Aaliyah Webb. And so McBride driving in. And that is going to be number 14, Chambers. Whistle for the foul. And we are going to have a technical foul here, whistle on Chambers, who was not very happy with the call. So basically the way that's going to work, Chambers will be given the personal foul, giving Johnson the 2 shots, but then also you'll have the technical foul shot, so 2 more on that. It's not actually Johnson, it was Shepard shooting the first 2. Now they're going to switch off. They're going to let McBride take the technical shots. And 79-71, so if McBride can sink both of these, that would be a 4-point swing, and that might be a difference in this one with it being a close game. But McBride's first shot, hard day's night off the back of the rim, no good. McBride on the second one. And she will get that one to fall. Does not need the rim's help. Nothing but net. Rosia 4:06, 79-72 game. Averett in front. Rosia pass over to Chandler. So Chandler looking around. Little inside pass to Carthen. Carthen puts it up. No good. She's going to grab her own board. Carthen again grabs yet another offensive board. And so 3 offensive boards for Carthen are going to lead to 2 points for the Cougars and one foul shot. 81-72, 3:49 remaining. And as we were saying coming back into the break, Averett with a 21-9 edge up until at least that point on the offensive end of rebounding. So Carthen will hit her one attempt, and Averett's lead is back to 10, 3:46 remaining. And you never can tell, at this point of the game. I'm sure that wasn't the first thing on her mind, Montre, but you definitely can't say it wasn't in the back of her mind either. So. And so it's going to be number 1, Sievers now. And Ajay with the steal. Nice pass over to Rosia. Rosia trying to drive. She puts it up. A little bit too much on it. And Averett's going to get whistled for the foul. I believe it was number 32. It's actually going to be Sabrina Shepard getting whistled for the Spirits. That is her 4th team. And so Brittany Mahoney is going to want a timeout. We are going to take it with her. When we come back, though, we will have the final 3 minutes and 30 seconds. But who's counting of this ball game? 84-72, Averett in front. Keep it locked right here on the Averett Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Grant Center. 84-72 is your score in favor of the Cougars. Carthen will get the ball on the inbound. Carthen over to Rosia. And we're going to wait and see here. I don't know if I think they're going to want to stop and make sure that the clock is good, or they're going to want to have a I believe that's what it is. They are happy with it now, so we will restart. Smith to Rosia. Rosia back to Smith. Smith over to Carthen. Carthen over to Longworth. Longworth trying to find Smith, but that pass intercepted by Shepard, who's trying to go to the other end here. So Shepard over to Sievers, and that pass no good, out of bounds. And so that is going to be Averett ball. So a 4-possession ball game, 84-72, 2:41 remaining. As Averett has looked like a different team towards the end of the third quarter and throughout the whole entire fourth quarter, after starting off the third a little bit slow. So Smith with the J, no good. Chandler there for the board. So Chandler over to Smith. That ball is over to Carthen. Carthen over to Chandler. Chandler with a long ball, and she's going to hit a 450. She's going to hit a 450-footer right there, 87-72. As Chandler puts up the long home run there. So McBride, and we are going to have a walk on that.
And that one right there gives the Lady Cougars 20 points in every quarter this game, and that is just very big. It's very hard to beat a team when they score 20 points every single quarter.
It is, and that's one thing with the last 2 years. I think really starting with Hickey's 5th season here at Averett, it really started to get to the point where they were a lot more focused on improving the offensive end of things. And, we saw it last year where the Cougars were constantly putting up 70, 80, 90 a game. And now we've got Micaiah Wright into the game for the Cougars. Carthen, and we've also got number 15, Hanley Chandler, into the game. So Carthen with the shot. Board collected by Sievers. Sievers trying to make something happen. She is well guarded, though. Sievers, nice pass inside to Farr. And it looks like a combination of Rosia and Chandler there to disrupt the mojo on that play. But possession does remain with the Spirits, who now trail by 15, the minute and a half. So that's going to be number 20, Davenport. No good. She will collect her own board. Draws the foul. So Ajay getting whistled for the foul on that. That is actually her first of the game, team 5th. That's going to put Salem in the bonus. As it'll be number 20, Tyler Davenport out of Kernersville, North Carolina. Atkins High School going to the line. Her first shot clanks off the back iron. 87-72 is your score here in Danville. Averett looking to go to 2-1 on the USA South. Second attempt, no good. Ajay there with the rebound. So Rosia now trying to make something happen. Rosia over to Chandler. Chandler over to Carthen. Carthen back over to Rosia. Rosia gets it over to Wright. Wright working the ball inside. So Rosia, there's the long ball, no good. Number 55, Cross, picking it up, and Cross tried to get the ball over to Sievers, Sievers unable to corral it, so Teskin back into the game for the Cougars. Meanwhile, you've got Johnson and Farr, Shanique Farr, coming into the game. 56.1 seconds, 87-72 is the score. Still plenty of time for Salem here, though, as we have seen crazier things happen at the Grand Center. We saw the men's team back about 2 years ago almost erase a 15-point deficit in the final minute against William Peace. So can't count Salem, can't count them out just yet. So number 20, Tyler Davenport, driving 39 1/3 second. Now after any basket, the clock will stop until the ball is inbounded and picked up by the inbounding team. So that's number 21, Wright. Shot no good. Rebound collected by Sievers. And that is Longworth trying to battle for the rebound. And she will win out. Possession goes to the Cougars. 13-point game. 22.5 seconds remaining. And there's Ajay with the basket. 89-74. And I think at this point it's pretty much safe to say that Averett will come out of this with the win, and I think Averett's just going to play for last shot here. And really don't even need to play last shot, just hold the ball.
And great win.
And so Sievers. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us here today at the Grand Center. Averett University, a 89-74 winner over Salem. Averett will improve to 5-5 on the year. Meanwhile, Salem falls to 3-7. Averett goes to 2-1 in the USA South. Meanwhile, the Spirits will fall to 1-2 in the USA South. And if you give us a few minutes here, we will try to bring you some stats. So, Montre, while we're waiting on stats, I think the in-between the third quarter and the fourth quarter, definitely the big turning point in this game, as really Salem was cruising. They were really gaining all the momentum, and then at the end of the game, at the end of the third quarter, moving in towards the beginning of the fourth, Averett stepped up his defensive pressure, started getting back to its game plan and working the ball inside, and it paid off.
As well they did. The Averett Cougars played tremendous defense in the fourth quarter as they held the Salem Spirits to 13 points. That was their lowest in any quarter today. And they had 3 quarters where they held them to under 20. And when you score over 20 in every quarter, it's going to be very hard to lose a game like that. And as you can see, the Lady Cougars just got back to what got them there. And that's just feeding the ball inside, getting the ball to Sam Chandler, and and to Brooke Carthen, and they just played a great game today.
They did. And Carthen, I mean, we saw Carthen show a whole lot of potential last year, especially coming off the bench as a freshman. But I tell you one thing, she really came out here and really made a big difference along with Chandler. First off, we're going to take a look at some of the scoring leaders, for Salem. Shepard, an absolute monster of a night, 26 points. She also ended up coming down with 5 total rebounds. Meanwhile, Severs came in. She put up 18 points, also added 12 rebounds, including 11 on the defensive end to round out her double-double. And right now we're taking a look at, for the Cougars, it was Sam Chandler, 23 and 10, 23 points, 10 rebounds to come in and get the double-double. Ajay, another big game, especially 15 points in the second half to finish with a 17-10. And then also Brooke Carthen, she's going to finish with a double-double of 22 points and 11 rebounds. And we're going to take a look here, and I think, as far as I'm concerned, one of the big differences in this game was not only Averett's defense. Averett coming in forced 28 turnovers, including those string of 5 there at the end of the first half that really gave the Cougars that double-digit advantage. And Montre, I'm going to go ahead and call that the stretch of the game right there.
That was very big. That stretch to end halftime where they went on that 10-0 run, where they were only up 1 point, and to string that lead to 11 before the half was very, very big. And another big thing we talked about early in the fourth quarter, 26 offensive rebound for the Lady Cougars today, 31 defensive. When you have as many offensive as defense rebounds, it's going to be very hard to beat a team that way. And
it is, and
it dominated the glass.
And it is. And, 57-47, those are the numbers. Those two teams evenly matched on size. But, well, that is going to do it for us here at the Grand Center. Once again, Averett, an 89-74 winner over Salem. With that, Averett will round out their record at 5-5. They will go to 2-1 in the USA South. Meanwhile, Salem goes to 3-7, 1-2 in the USA South. And be sure to join us here on the Averett Sports Network on Saturday, as we will have a doubleheader, as the women's team will take on Meredith College at 2 p.m. And then the men's team will also come in and play Methodist following that game. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we would like to thank you for joining us here on the Averett Sports Network. We wish you a great beginning of 2018 and hope that you guys stay out of trouble and keep doing what it is that you love to do. And this is going to do it. That's going to do it for us here at the Grand Center. Thank you all for tuning in, and make sure to follow all the Averett action on averettcougars.com or also on our social media platforms. Good night and good luck. Another one.